Once the storm cleared and I kicked these animals out of the garage, I was able to get back to work. So it's time to put back together my rear sway bar and all of the fuel system charcoal canister around there. So eventually, once we are making boost, we can actually drive this thing around without the suspension clunking. And I've just received the new bracket for the rear sway bar, so you can see the new one obviously is the nice shiny one on the left, and the old one is the one on the right. You can see where it broke there. I was thinking about welding that back together, but that's not really going to help. And since this was only like 15 bucks, I might as well have replaced it. A lot of people said upgrade to a bigger sway bar, get some fancy mounts, which I want to, but that's not really in my budget at this time. I'm worried about making turbos do things, not so much improving the suspension, which is actually already pretty good in my opinion. So let's see what it takes to fit this thing on there. Next up, I had to fix the rear sway bar. I had broken the bolt off a few months back during a test drive, and it clunked really bad anytime you hit a bump. So now it was time to drill and tap a new hole for the new rear sway bar bracket. Go away, clunking. Alright, so there's where it was broken. And then new bracket. Same old bushing. I did clean up this bolt quite a bit. And now there's not going to be any more clunking when we're going down the road. So now I just need to throw the evap canister back in here and then button this end of the car up. Next up, it was time for me to start making the H-pipe. This time I used a hole saw rather than just my angle grinder to cut out each pipe where the mid pipe would intersect. If I had to do it over again, I would use a slightly smaller hole saw than the diameter of the pipe that you're trying to join. Using a 2-inch hole saw and a 2-inch pipe made my life a little bit harder. It's always nice to have friends who are willing to help on your project and lend you their fancy tools to make your job easier. So here is Dan's Everlast PowerTig 210 EXT. He's got his argon bottle over there. And here is the workbench we're going to be working on. Hopefully today we will get some of the H-pipe welded. I just want to make that a little bit better since my MIG welder kind of made it look nasty, and then weld these things together. So hopefully that PowerTig will do the job. That's like really easy. I like that.
Oh wow.
I feel like that's gonna be a lot stronger than it was.
Even if it's not, it looks better.
Yeah, it does. Not that this particular spot is that critical, but
No.
with enough time and patience, I'm sure we could have used Dan's TIG welder to do the rest of this pipe. But I decided to make life easier and finish it up with the MIG welder, and then go over it once again with the TIG torch. So as I was bolting stuff onto the turbo and getting the turbo ready to put on the car, and some of the sealing surfaces for the last time, so I tightened them down, I decided that I wanted to weigh the turbo and side pipe here. So with all this stuff, like the oil drain and this potential hose for coolant return that I'm going to use, all this weighs 24 pounds. And I still have to make the exhaust side pipe. So that means that there's going to be 24 pounds over the driver's side front end, as well as 24 pounds for the other side over the passenger front end. So understeer, here we come. Stay tuned to Easy on Cars for the next episode. We head to the junkyard to scavenge parts off an Outback XT. I'll show you how I did the plumbing for both oil and coolant on each turbo and fitted them to the car for the last time. This has been Easy reminding you to take it easy, easy on cars.